What's going on, people? Good morning. Welcome to United View, your latest dose of Man United transfer news and updates and rumors and therapy and whatever else you need it to be. It's transfer view time. It's another player we're linked with. It's full on panic mode settings. Or depending on what journalist you listen to, it's always been this. It's always been on the list. These types of players. We certainly know Milinkovic-Savic has always been on Manchester United's list for years, since about 2019. So big up to the community. Smash a like on the video if you lot are new. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Again, Owen, a lot to get into. I feel like I say that at the beginning of every day, but specifically in the last 24 hours, there's just been a lot in it. There's just been a lot, from the back end of the Marko Arnautovic stuff to the Rabiot stuff front and center, to could get De Jong, as well as that, to De Jong's dead in the water, to now Milinkovic-Savic interest. There is a lot to get into. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the Rabiot deal latest. Bologna not planning to sell Arnautovic as well. They had some harsh words to say. Maybe Arnautovic doing us a favour. And Eric Bailly is looking at a move to Monaco, as the latest rumours there. So, Owen, what have we got at the top of the morning?
Rocky Horror Picture Show settings, that's what we've got. Let's do the time warp again, because Milinkovic-Savic, I think was it like 2018? I remember you saying, I never want to say his name again. Rabiot, we were interested in him in 2019. Marko Arnautovic, we're talking about signing him because he had a good 2007 at FC 20. So let's do the time warp again. That's what we're in. We're in time warp settings. But Milinkovic-Savic, let's start off with that one. It's been reported by The Telegraph that whilst Manchester United are pushing ahead with a surprise bid for Adrian Rabiot, who we're going to talk about later on, they are also considering a move to finally sign Serge Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. The move follows the growing realization that Frankie de Jong just does not want to join. He is intent on staying at Barcelona. Chelsea have also held talks, but have not received any encouragement that it's even worth making a bid. When it continues about De Jong, Barca want De Jong to sign a new deal beyond reduced terms, as reported yesterday by David Ornstein, and it is expected his future will be sorted out this week ahead of the deadline for La Liga's cost controls. Keep an eye out for that one. But talking about Milinkovic-Savic, intermediaries believe a deal can actually be done for the player, even though Lazio do not want to sell and are aware of Manchester United's renewed interest. Lazio are considering offering Milinkovic-Savic a contract extension as his current deal expires in 2024. So we're looking at possibly 2 years left on his deal. A price has not been set so far, but it would take around £50 million, with talks at a very early stage as Manchester United consider whether to go for it. Flex, should Manchester United go for it? Milinkovic-Savic, time warp, it's just a step to the left. You're still muted. That's why I'm singing. I'm trying to fill dead air.
Sorry. Sometimes I let my Zoom etiquette, even though we're not even on Zoom, but my Zoom etiquette run away with itself. You know what I mean? You mute when the other person's talking. It's polite. It's the right thing to do. Sometimes you forget to unmute. So I might stop muting because I keep forgetting every time. So
I like it.
Yeah, you like me just messing up so you can see me going.
Yeah.
Should we go for Milinkovic-Savic? I mean, Owen, at this stage, I got no idea what the strategy is. I got no idea what the strategy should be. Actually, I do know what the strategy should be, but I know that we're that deep into the window that the strategy can't be that now, because we've gone past the strategy being what it should have been. So anything now, it means it wasn't the strategy. So it's like we're now entering into a different part of the window, in my opinion, where the strategy that we all wanted to see has not happened. And now we need it. And now we actually need. We don't need a short-term strategy, but we need something that's going to get us players now. Do you know what I mean? Which is the annoying thing, because by doing that, historically, that gives us a problem in a year's time. It gives us a problem 100%. In 2 summers' time. Do you know what I mean? Because we panic now, or we're not quite sure of things now. And the Milinkovic-Savic one is always one that I've just always been away from, because when it was the first rumours, and I remember being on tour in 2019, and like I said, it was the main thing. It was the main saga. It was way before we got Bruno Fernandes. I think we got him the January after that. It was the main saga, and it was Willie, won't he? Are we in for him? And then it just went dead. And it was anytime it would, it became like it was going to be the new Schneider. the new Wesley Sneijder. Do you know what I mean? Every year it was a player you're supposed to get year on year on year. You hear his name pop up, and he always stays at Lazio, or whether it be Inter if it was Sneijder or whatever. But he's got ability. If you're looking at him compared to the likes of McTominay, of course he's better than him. That's like we're saying that with Rabiot, he's better than him. If it's instead of Fred, obviously completely different player, attacking midfielder, can get on the ball, can drive with the ball, decent on the ball, good feet. He has got ability. I just feel like these moves are just stale moves though. Like they're just like we ain't been there and done it because we didn't get him, but we've been there interested, lurking around, haven't ever been interested. This whole summer's gone. His name came up a couple of times actually, didn't it? Then it just went away like it always does. So you think, right, we've had our routine Milinkovic-Savic thing. We've had that. And then you just leave it where it is. But it's desperate time, desperate measures, isn't it? And now it looks like we're starting to go back there. Look, I've seen other things say that, we could get both, or we could get Milinkovic-Savic and De Jong, or Rabiot and De Jong. God knows what's going to happen with the De Jong thing. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But I just think now we're in a point where we're saying, you know what? We just need some midfielders. And you know what? Like I said earlier, depending on which journalist you speak to, really credible guys who we believe them with pretty much everything they say. David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano, when they come to the table and say something, one thing you could say, Romano's been a bit of a tapping recently or whatever. He's redeemed himself with Cucurella, that's for sure. But he's a top journo. He's a very, very well-connected journo. Ornstein only comes to the party. And Ornstein's been saying that Rabiot's been on the list this summer. Like, it's not actually a panic. Well, we believe him with every other thing. But now, all of a sudden, we might not. So I think it's interesting that Rabiot's always been on the list this summer, which we didn't know about.
No, I go back to what Erik ten Hag has been saying recently, where he says, it's not about signing players, it's about signing the right players. Clearly, it's not about signing the right players, it's about signing players at this point. The right players went a long time ago, or the right players clearly aren't available. So now it has become a case of signing just players, i.e., we need to get bodies through the door, irrespective of if we really, truly want them in an ideal world, if we'd be really going after them. No, because you can't say in an ideal world. I know that these names, as Ornstein and Romano are saying, that they've been on the list for a while, and I'm sure they have, as the alternatives to the right players. We had heard it all through this summer, right? In the case that Frankie de Jong doesn't come, in the case of we don't get this player, that player, we've got alternatives in place. Clearly, these are the alternatives. Clearly, these are the names on the list. The issue is what it was when we spoke about it before. When they say those alternatives there, we feel like we can get those deals done pretty quickly if push comes to shove, if we need to. Doesn't it worry you why we are able to get that deal done quickly? We're able to get a deal done quickly for Rabiot because he's got a year left on his deal, and even Juventus are a bit like, Milinkovic-Savic, we can probably maybe get. The only reason, to be honest, I mean, Lazio clearly still want Milinkovic-Savic. I believe he's their captain and he's been a talismanic figure for them for a long time. The only reason, realistically, we could get him is because he's got a deal that expires in a couple of years' time, and he just might have made up his mind that finally I'm going to leave. I spoke to you last night off the air when I said, imagine we get to the end of the window where it is like we get Rabiot, we get Milinkovic-Savic. I don't know about De Jong, but even Milinkovic-Savic and Rabiot, we'd be like, well, they're all right because they're better than what we've got, but they're still two 27-year-old midfielders. They're still two players that in a year's time or 2 years' time, we could be having this discussion around this time of the year of, why haven't we done any business? Well, we've still got Milinkovic-Savic and Rabiot on contracts that are 200K a week, and they might not actually be good enough. You know what I mean? You can see where it's leading. You can see where it's going.
That's the biggest thing for me, that because it seems like a lack of planning and it seems like last ditch. I've had my say on Yuri Tillemans. That I think there's some deficiencies in his game, but my God, is he better? He plays in the Premier League and he's had some really, really good performances and some good seasons, some good strong seasons at Leicester. It's a lot more mileage in getting someone like him than the unproven entities in the Premier League anyway. In Savic and Rabiot, and I just feel like why he's in the last year of his deal as well. Yuri Tillemans. Why are we not banging down the door for him then? Over these types of players. I'm not saying that I've been pushing the Yuri Tillemans train all summer, because I haven't. I thought, something that Arsenal looked like
Yeah,
it's
you've
going to
got
be
your
theirs.
doubts. Yeah, you've said a
Got my
million times.
doubts. I've said, like, yeah, I like him. He's neat on the ball. He's tidy, but I've got concerns over X or I've got concerns over Y. Doesn't mean I don't think he should be anywhere near the squad. Does he level up Manchester United and in a new system under a new manager? Can he become an even better player? Yes. So I wouldn't be angry if we got Yuri Tillemans, especially with some of the players we are linked with. And you look at the availability of the midfielder. Now, I know Brendan Rodgers has been saying the player's not for sale. These types of players are not for sale, but Leicester are in big trouble. They can't buy players right now. They need to sell. And Brendan Rodgers can't bring anyone else in right now. Go and slap if he's 25 million, go and put in an offer for him. Someone just said there, to be fair, Nile 23 says maybe he's not interested, Flex. True. There's always that. Maybe we did make an initial inquiry and he said, no, I'm just waiting on Arsenal. So we thought, why go for him? But in true fashion of what people have predicted throughout this transfer window of not trusting that the club's change, in true Man United fashion, when do we ever do that? Ring a player, check if they want to come. Nah, I don't want to come. All right, we'll leave it and move on. That's not what we do. We do the opposite. Are you sure? Hang around, try and get you. Said you don't want to come, still put in a bid. Like, do you know what I mean? So that would be quite smart from us if we checked on Tillemans and he said he definitely didn't want to come. And we moved on. I would accept it. But having seen what I've seen unfold, I'm now back into the camp of like, I wouldn't put it past us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Milinkovic-Savic, and I've seen it in the comments there, and it is true, is that he's not the worst player. He is a good player, and
He's not the worst player.
And the price that's been quoted, considering before when we were in from before, we've been quoted like 80 million, 100 million. It was outrageous prices,
Yeah.
and then when you get to now and you go 50 million, United maybe could whittle it down. You know what United like when they do transfer fees as well. It could be 40 plus 10 or 45 plus 10 or something like that, and grand scheme of things, you wouldn't go, that's not horrendous. Not ready-made in being 27. It's now or never when it comes to his career. It's peak levels. It's not the worst signing in the world. I guess with everything. And I suppose it's the chicken or egg, because clearly, whilst these names have been on the list, like they haven't plucked these names out of thin air or anything like that. Like Ornstein and Romano have both said, like, Rabiot, Milinkovic-Savic, they were on the list. They were clearly on the list. They were on the short list for a while. Clearly, the weekend has expedited a lot of this process of, okay, those names are on the list. Maybe we have to go for them. But it feels like every signing now, after what happened at the weekend, whilst we do need signings, it's just, I want to say it's, you know what? I can't really get my words out properly, Flex. You know what I mean? Where it's like, we need signings. Clearly,
I've never seen you like this, lost for words.
That's the
when
feeling.
When did you ever see Owen lost for words?
Clearly, we need signings.
Yeah.
But almost every signing that we make after the weekend, it's like, I know why this is really quick now. And whilst it's a good thing for it to be quick, it's frustrating that we're in this position to be like, well, we've got to move quickly. You know 100%. What I mean?
What it is now, I'll tell you what it is, Owen, is, yeah. What it is now is that we are finding ourselves as fans doing something that we didn't want to do, which is compromise our values and strategy of this transfer window. But we have to now. We have to. And I think that, in doing it in this point, it isn't as well, it could be as harmful, but it isn't as stupid as we may feel that it is. That's what it is, because I get what you're saying. You're basically saying that anything that comes through now, we wasn't really planning for. So it's like, that's probably going to leave us. Yeah, maybe it's last ditch.
I mean, we were doing the dissertation was due.
Yeah,
we were doing bits of it at a leisurely pace, and then we've realised there's a week left, and we've gone, I've still got a fair amount to do, actually.
But okay, let me just play devil's advocate, right? Just to keep the conversation, well-rounded, and not just me and you, just agreeing and going, but what about this, what about that? Is it, when in a transfer window, we always say, where's our alternatives? Why can't we work on deals at the same time? And, is there a side to this that actually, well, good that we have alternatives and good that they're going to them quick?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I'm conflicted. That's why I'm conflicted. Like I said, going back to like that university dissertation analogy, again, they've been working on it at a leisurely pace. And for a couple of weeks, there have been people going, you need to really start working on that. You need to start working on that. And they go, I am. And you go, yeah, I know you are. But you need to probably be doing more. And then they come in with a couple of weeks left. You go, how's the dissertation going? And they're like, getting a bit stressful. I'm having to do all of this work. And you go, yeah, but we were saying that for a couple of weeks. Do you know how to do it? And you sort of get annoyed. Like, I'm glad you're doing it. And I'm sure, I hope, come the end of the deadline, you'll get it done and you'll submit it and it'll be fine. But where was the impetus?
Yeah.
That's the frustrating thing. And this comes from someone in myself who was very relaxed about it, for the majority of it. And again, I hold my hands up. All for me,
Yeah.
Sorry.
And also, I think it goes on the level of alternatives. I mean, when your first alternative is branded as Marko Arnautovic, you're only going to make us feel one way as fans. You know what I mean? And rightly so. When your second alternative to Arnautovic, well, I know they're different positions. When your other alternative to Frenkie de Jong, or your first alternative is Adrien Rabiot, it's like, all right, cool. People might quite rate him or watch the French league a lot. Sorry, the French national team a lot, or Serie A a lot, and see him at Juve over however many years, and might like him and say, listen, he's way better than McTominay, etc., etc. I'm not saying he isn't, but it just makes you feel like, mate, if we went in straight away for a Neves, quickly, strongly, bang, 50 M's there on the table. Oh shit, they want more, right? Okay, cool. Or like I said, a Tillemans or someone that we're more synonymous with. I think that's what it is as fans. It's like that was so far off the table of what we thought could be a possibility as an alternative. Marko Arnautovic from absolutely nowhere. Rabiot, I know he's been on the list a few years before, but let's face it, this window is from absolutely out of the blue. Because another thing about Man United is things always get out. And I know we want them to start not getting out. But when there's rough links or, a few people on the list, we usually have an inkling sometimes who they are. And I think not only is the quality of player in question, especially with Arnautovic, but also like the instantaneous, like it just came from nowhere side of things was like, really? That sounds a bit panic. Like basically no one wants to believe that, someone like Rabiot's been on the list. Someone like Savic has been on it. No one believes that. Even though journalists are saying that they are.
And it's like also, again, if we get to the end of the transfer window and we signed Milinkovic-Savic and Rabiot as your midfield additions, you would go, okay, I'll take that. But I don't want to be in the position to take that. I don't want to be in the position where I have to go, I'll take that. But it's like, well, it could have been different. And also, I understand the pursuit of De Jong, and I understand it was always going to take a while, and maybe it hasn't turned out the way that United initially thought, or the initial murmurings were it was going to play out. But then once you do sign people that take a week to sign, then you go, oh, why didn't we sign him earlier on then? Because we'd have had him. We'd have had him for preseason. We'd have come into the season ready. And I know it is one game, but that's the frustration too. But look, let's not completely rule things out. I believe it was it Andy Mitten was saying last night, if actually he's more optimistic. He's feeling more optimistic about signing Frenkie de Jong after what happened yesterday. Do you subscribe to that theory?
I don't know what to subscribe to anymore, Owen.
This channel, bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, if you don't know what to subscribe to, don't subscribe to any theories in the transfer window because you will be let down. You won't be let down if you subscribe to the United View, at least. I can guarantee you that. I don't know what theories to subscribe to, Owen, because it's nice to hear someone like Andy Mitten say that because, again, he's really close, credible journalist, but nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. And like I said yesterday, I'm not going to go back on it. My gut feeling is I'm out. I've given up on that. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe he still comes. And if that day comes, great. When we do a video on that, if we get to do a video on that, we rejoice then and talk about, okay, I got visions of that. I had visions of that. That video, it's been a long drawn out saga. We thought we wouldn't get him. But he's come. It's time to put it all behind us. We've got the play. You just think, and it's like, it ain't gonna happen, mate. Like I just feel like I said, Flex, stop thinking of that. That's just not gonna happen. So I don't subscribe to that theory. I'm sorry, I don't. It's nice to hear from quite a credible, really reliable guy, good guy.
But all of it, and this goes to him, this goes to Ornstein, this goes to Romano, this goes to Jared Romero, this goes to everyone. No one still knows. It's all just, well, my feeling is this. Or my opinion is this: there have been still, Ornstein dropped yesterday the thing about Barca sending that legal letter to De Jong and his camp, but you still haven't really heard anything about what is he actually going to do? What does this mean? You get the developments, but everyone's opinion is, we still don't really know what's going to happen. And as we get closer to that deadline day for the La Liga registration, it's going to be fascinating. And that saga of Barcelona is just wild, absolutely wild.
Yeah, I was just looking at Rabiot's career quickly, and he's won a lot of stuff because of the teams he's been at. Like when you win when you win 6 leagues at PSG win the league every year. It's like it's like being at Celtic before Steven Gerrard got there. And what did they win? Like 9 in a row, something stupid like that. 6 in a row. I don't know what it was. Like you can't. Do you know what I mean? You don't really judge that. He's got one Italian cup as well, League Cup. Sorry, the Super Cup, and he's got a Italian Cup winner as well. The other cup that they got, and he's got the league there.
He was at Juventus when Ronaldo was there, which is quite interesting.
Yeah,
and I do wonder, like, would have Ronaldo said anything to anyone at the club, about if there is any sense of circus that comes with him? We don't know. Or would Ronaldo say to people, "Has Rabiot come in?" And they go, "Oh yeah, we're thinking about." Yeah. Let's be honest, Flex. At this point, Rabiot's coming. He is going to be a Man United player. It seems very likely at this point. Does he go, "Oh, that's a good signing. I know him," or does he go, "I mean, more want to go out the door now"? Right?
Nah, not even. Nah, just not more. Just he's just do what he's going to do anyway.
Do you think he just
he
doesn't do the Roy Keane? He goes, they go, "We're signing a midfielder." He goes, "Oh, you're getting Frankie De Jong done, are you?" No, they go, "No, Rabiot." And he goes, "Really?"
Yeah, 100%. I get that. Ed T says, Flex, stop looking at his honours. Check his actual stats for those clubs for his whole tenure. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not stellar. Like, he's been at them clubs and can put them on his CV to say, he's won X or he's won Y. Someone in the chat was saying, look, the guy's won stuff and you lot are turning your nose up at him. But like I said, when you look at some of the stats, even since 2021, he's got worse stats on the ball than McTominay. Worse. Like, come on. I just don't get it.
So would you rather have McTominay over Rabiot? Is that what you're saying?
No, because I want to see something different. In true hypocritical style, he's got worse stats than him, but I don't care. The eye test, he still can't be worse than that. So try it.
You want something else, especially after the weekend, right? You just go, well,
yeah. But that's the bit that pisses me off the most. We've been put in this position where we even need to ask each other these questions, though. Do you know what I mean? We're even saying to each other, yeah, but would you rather still see him, though? Well, I know we saw the stats of like last couple of years and they ain't been great compared to McTominay's. The bar's low. New challenge. Still different to McTominay, though, isn't it? All right.
Again, that's what I mean. And on the face of it, if we do go like we got, Rabiot and Milinkovic-Savic, he would go, well, it's not horrendous.
Let's get a poll up, actually. We haven't even got a poll.
Yeah.
Should Man United... would you be happy with the signing of Rabiot? And then we'll just do a straight yes or no. Because I think the chat's quite... There's some people saying, Flex, we can't get stellar players. Like, this is our level. There's some people saying it's rubbish. There's some people saying, would you prefer McTominay? Do you know what I mean?
Some people are saying, he's, like you said, as a French international, he's played for PSG and Juventus, and you're turning your nose up at it. And when you do put it like that, you go, well, good point.
And you know what, Owen? And again, we always find ourselves trying to find some sort of positivity. Not positivity, but a different angle. Look at Bentancur when he come from Juventus and Kulusevski. He wasn't exactly tearing it up at Juve, was they? They both came from there, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did.
But also, you could kind of go like, I don't know I doubt they were there when Conte was the manager because that was way before their time. But you sort of, it felt like it fit. Maybe put it that way. It felt like it fit because you go sort of Conte, Juventus, blah, blah, blah. It's a loose link, right? But you could see maybe a bit of a plan. But the Rabiot one, it don't feel like a plan, does it? It just feels like, let's get Rabiot.
Yeah. Well, already.
And again,
go on.
And again, it's not like, he's terrible. I do think he's better than what we've got, but what we've got isn't very good. So
it's not hard to be better than.
Yeah. Basically. But I don't know, Flex.
I've never seen Owen like
The
this.
last couple of days, I'm ground down. Just
Yeah.
what's the poll saying?
Sorry, just quickly, I think we were a bit out of sync there. I'm not sure if we're back in sync or not. I'll keep an eye on that. Would you be happy with the signing of Rabiot? So far, 57% are saying no. 43% are saying yes. So, and it's heading towards 60%. So, boy, that gives you an idea as to what people are thinking and where they're at, because it's just underwhelming, isn't it? It's just underwhelming. I'm just going to get Josh in my ear quick with the out of sync situation. Are we going to BRB, Josh? Which I can't hear him. Normally he's right there, but he's not in my ear.
He's run away.
He's run away. He's gone, forget this, I'm out. All this
Rabiot.
Rabiot.
I'm running away from it all.
Yeah. So if we, Owen, if this gives Josh. Oh, we will BRB. We will BRB. 1 second, peeps.
We're back. That was quick.
Oh, are we? I didn't even know. That was very quick. Very quick. Good. That's what I like. Quick, short, sharp. Smash a like on the video, peeps. Subscribe to the channel if you lot are new. And like Palmera says there, 2 months in the members club, but also says lovely stuff. Quick pit stop. Yeah, 100%. Nothing wrong with that. I won't say that bit, Michael. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's go through the super chats, because everyone has been getting involved as per usual. There is a lot. There is an account called KG's Hairline, which is weird, but
I've stopped with those. I've stopped with the hair stuff. I feel like I've moved on.
Especially when someone, he's been bald for ages. Like, it's not like it's not a thing, is it?
But he's one of those people. He looks. How's the best way to phrase this? That when he's got a hat on or he's got whatever, he looks like he's got hair.
Yeah.
So when he takes the hat off, you go, "Oh, I thought you had hair. I thought there was something underneath there," and there's not.
I was going to say, I mean, Josh, I think he does look bald. He's got quite a round. He's got a round head, which would suggest bald.
I disagree. When he takes it off, you go, "Oh, you bald."
Okay. Well, anyway, there's an account that's called KG's Hairline that says Frankie choosing prison over Man United. TTV says Bailly and Varane centre back, Martinez and Savic midfield. WJ Barrett says had to message Sonny from Cornwall, honeymoon settings. Had to message from Sonny Cornwall, honeymoon settings. Barca have effed everything. They have done a madness. Frankie de Jong can't move now. We are desperate, but Rabiot and Milinkovic-Savic means no McFred. I'm all in. Dr. Afro Soul Brother says, just like with Smalling, why are we letting Bailly, quite literally our best defender, who can back up as a defensive mid, leave? Bailly is a defensive mid backup. Don't know about that one. It's madness that we're letting him go. And KG's Hairline says, again, Flex trying to play devil's advocate is like McTominay trying to play that number 6. Stop it, man. We are tired. Okay. Maxwell Smart says, my window would have been Timber, Malacia, Sanguer, Tillemans, Lemaire, Dybala, Anthony Sarr, and Dennis. Guess how much that costs? Nuff said. Well, if you could have got all those players when you wanted to, it might not have costed as much as you thought, but that is kind of some FIFA settings there. Some really good players there, though. Steve says the only way Rabiot is acceptable is if Frankie de Jong also signs. Fans complain we can't do multiple deals. Here we are. Window not closed. Let's see. So a lot of bit of optimism there from Steve. Appreciate that. And John James says his status in a slower league shows he's not up to it. I think, are you talking about Savic or are you talking about Rabiot? Talking about Rabiot there. So yeah, and as it stands, 62% in the poll are saying no, they would not be happy with the signing of Rabiot. Let's move it on. What is the latest on the Rabiot deal? We've been talking about him for a little bit. Let's quickly gloss over what the latest is with him.
Yes, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted this morning saying Manchester United are in direct contact with Adrien Rabiot and his mother, Veronique, to negotiate on personal terms. No issue with Juventus as they want to sell Rabiot this summer. Eric Ten Hag also involved in direct discussions with the French player. So, as I mentioned previously, Flex, it does look like once you've agreed a fee with a club, and now they're saying, whilst yesterday they were saying, well, personal terms haven't been discussed yet. Now they're saying, look, personal terms aren't going to be an issue. So it's looking very likely that Rabiot will indeed be a Manchester United signing this summer. He also confirmed this morning saying, I can confirm that talks are ongoing between Manchester United and Juventus for Adrian Rabiot. I'm told that United don't see an issue of reaching an agreement with Juve and the player. And as we were talking about earlier, the truth is, according to Romano, Rabiot has been one of the options on Manchester United's list for weeks. Contacts were then accelerated over the weekend. So kind of what we were saying before, and to be honest, look, I say what we were saying before, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what the situation was. He was a player that United were interested in or knew his availability. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. They knew he's got a year left. They knew we can do that deal quickly because Juventus want to sell this summer as opposed to a free next year. They knew the availability. They knew the situation. The weekend happened. Maybe some more developments or lack of developments happened with Frankie de Jong. And they said, right, let's accelerate. Let's do this deal. And it means that Rabiot is going to probably most likely flex unless a massive collapse. Unless Veronique says no, it's going to be he's going to be a Manchester United player.
Yeah, I think as it gets closer or it gets done or there's an announcement, we've agreed a deal in principle following a medical, etc. When you get that, my focus will switch to he's our player and it's not what we expected, but we move and we hope that he starts instead of McTominay or instead of Fred. We break up that midfield. We start to break it up. Then Eriksen drops back. We could find ourselves playing Rabiot, Eriksen, and Bruno, complete different midfield. Maybe so
with Donny and Milinkovic-Savic on the bench.
Do you know what I mean? So it does. It would give us eventually. These moves could give us what we wanted, which was just a whole new midfield, and then we can work out what we think of it. But just the order it was done and the manner it was done would always probably leave us at the beginning saying, I'll wait. I'm just going to wait and see. I need to see what this shows me first. Fair enough. It's not McTominay and Fred, so they've addressed it finally. But I just didn't expect them to address it in this way. And I think, look, once somebody actually becomes your player, I think now is the time. While there's rumors and there's deals being talked about and stuff like that, now's the time I think to air how you feel about it, because once they become a Manchester United player, to me, in my opinion, you just put it all aside because it's done and dusted. Then there's no point talking about why you did or didn't want him. Well, there's reasons talking about why you did because that's positive, but there's no point bringing this. I don't want him. He's holding up the shirt. Why? You got to get on with it. You got to get on with it once they're in the shirt. And when it comes to match today, you just support them, innit?
We're going to be doing, let's face it, a video at some point that talks about Rabiot becoming a Man United player. Like with that video.
So you think now you like? I know obviously it's real credible stuff. Like it, even the domestic journalists are saying Man United, pursuing it is. It's happening. Like Paul Hurst at times, Samuel Lockhart, they're all
I just like you look at the noise. It's yesterday Sky Sports, they've agreed a fee. Now you've got Romano this morning going personal terms won't be an issue. It's basically done. And unless someone else comes in, unless Rabiot or his agent, his mother says that towards the end, actually, it's not Champions League football, or unless they've got really high demands. I think there was a report last night saying that she only wants to talk to John Murtough, nobody else, not intermediaries. But given what happened at the weekend, I would maybe think Eric Ten Hag has said to Murtough or these people, like, guys, I know we're Frankie. I know Frankie's my guy, and I still hope and I still believe, but we've got to get someone. I can't.
Well, in the last, just quickly, in the last minute, an Italian journalist by the name of Tancredi Palmieri, that's not bad Italian for me, Sport Italia correspondent on CNN, formerly of beIN Sports, etc., has claimed that Manchester United have reached personal terms with Marko Arnautovic. He also says talks are still ongoing with Bologna, but we have reached personal terms with Marko Arnautovic. That's just one quite big Spanish journalist saying that in the last minute or so. We'll have to see how that transpires throughout the day. But reports there that we've potentially agreed personal terms with Marko Arnautovic.
But we were going to move on to him next. Should we move on to him now?
Yeah, let's do it.
We can move on to him now, which is curious that they say that possibly they've agreed personal terms with Marko Arnautovic because Bologna director Marco Di Vaio, who I believe used to be a really good forward back in the day, said last night regarding Arnautovic, quote, "We're proud of Manchester United's interest in Marco, but we are not planning to sell him. We want to keep him at Bologna, as the president said. He's a key part of our project. There's not even a price tag." Romano also said yesterday as well that Erik ten Hag is a big fan of Arnautovic and he is convinced Marco can be ready for Premier League level. What does that mean? I mean, he's convincing. Well, because he played in the Premier League before. So clearly, years ago. He also then said the opening bid is around 10 million euros. It's been turned down. So let's see if Manchester United will arrive with a new bid. Bologna are saying there's no price tag. But even, to be honest, there is a price tag for Marko Arnautovic because he's 33. He's towards the end of his career. And Bologna are just looking at it going, it's Man United. They saw what happened at the weekend. They're going, we can get way more money than we probably should be asking for this player because one, United are desperate. Ten Hag wants to play, and it's Man United. Name your price, and that's why they go. He's not for sale. He is for sale. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the right price he is. Again, now is the time to voice our opinions on it because if he ends up a Man United player, he will need to have some good start because we will be absolutely ridiculed. Absolutely ridiculed. I'm sorry, and I will. If in 3 months from now the outlook is completely different and Marko Arnautovic came to Man United and we look back on this video here on the 9th of August at 9:45 in the morning and say, wow, remember that flex? Remember when you said this? I will hold my hands up.
And I'd be happy to.
I'll be happy to. But if we sign him, that is an embarrassment, personally. Like, I stand by that. I stand by that until I get proved otherwise. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think there's anybody who thinks that this is a smart signing. I don't get it. I'm dead against it. I think it's shitting on the fans. I think it shows a complete lack of planning. And then you can bring in the Ten Hag thing of, you said that, we said that, back Ten Hag if the manager wants him, but the manager wants this guy because he couldn't get anyone else. The manager wants this guy, which I do severely question why I would want him, but it's still like his 4th, 5th, 6th choice forward because we couldn't get someone higher up the list. So, when you talk about that list of, what was it, 804 fullbacks or something like that, when we got Wan-Bissaka or whatever it was, where would Marko Arnautovic be on that list of bloody hundreds of strikers that we're linked to?
And also, I know it's like people say, he's bench play, he's content to be on the bench. But given that Martial is injured and he will continue to get injured this year, given that we don't know what's going to happen with Cristiano Ronaldo, last season he got injured as well. Arnautovic, he comes in, will be playing games. And you're in a situation where your number 9 for Manchester United in 2022 is Marko Arnautovic. It's like a Football Manager game that's 10 seasons in. And you go, oh, that's weird. It's like
bizarre. Ronaldo wants to leave, yeah, and fair enough. It looks like we're going to make him stay and stuff like that. The conversation's moved on from that Ronaldo saga. I'll tell you that. And that's the thing about Man United. All this, and you still got that Ronaldo situation just brewing. You're not really sure which way it's going to go, but we all had our say on it. Everyone, that was the talk of the town 2 weeks ago. It was all about Ronaldo. What do we do? How has he been acting? People on side A saying, listen, how on earth do you replace his goals? Don't care that he wants to leave, make him stay. Other people saying, just leave. It's becoming a bit of a circus now. You get all them things. And then in one game, it turns to this. Completely definitely need to get Ronaldo to stay. Who the hell's going to score? Who the hell's the backups? And you're in a position where you could go, right, Ronaldo could leave the club and you replace him with Arnautovic. That's insane. That is.
That's up there with with replacing prime Ronaldo when he left, or with Michael Owen. And Sir Alex managed to win stuff with that. I don't see, I don't see that happening with Marko Arnautovic. And we laugh, and the reason we're laughing is because it's absurd.
Yeah.
It is. And like, you can't tell me that everyone else in the Premier League, or those top 6 clubs, top 7 clubs, however many there are now, they're all going, I don't believe it. Like, you kidding me? Man United signing Arnautovic.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I mentioned before when Liverpool, where they had that period of time in the 2000s where they signed random people. Even when they were like trying to get closer to winning the league, they signed Ricky Lambert. And was like, what?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what it's like.
Forgot about that. Ricky Lambert used to play for Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Remember when players like Charlie Adam were there and stuff like that. You just
Yeah.
they get moves off doing a bit all right at a few clubs, but the step up is just not that. It just isn't that. Let's get some of the super chats out.
There's loads.
There's loads. Where did we last leave off? Because there is loads. It was KG's hairline. That was the McTominay one.
It was about you. Last one was you being devil's advocate.
Oh yeah, so that was KG's hairline again. Who said that?
Next one's from Ash.
There you go. Guys, does it worry you that Ten Hag is not more publicly forceful about getting more quality players like Tuchel was? Is he another bored yes man like Ollie? No, in my opinion anyway, I think I will ask Owen and say it real quickly while we fly through these. Just quickly from me, I don't think it means that. He's a new manager. He has said in many press conferences, we need more. It's a long season. We need to strengthen in a roundabout way. He's not spoken about players from other teams, which is the right thing to do. I don't think so, personally. Ash, what do you think, Owen, quickly on that?
No, I don't. I wouldn't say he's like a yes man or anything like that. I would also say that he's not naive enough to think that he can come in as a new manager and call out the board in public, because last time that happened, or every time that's happened, they're not going to be in a job very long. The long-term approach is to try your very best to get some success, or some kind of have some form of have a stronger hand to play. Basically, his hand isn't very strong at the moment, essentially,
to say the least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in every aspect of it. So, no, I don't think so. I don't.
Okay. Jake Adams says, Milinkovic-Savic, I can accept, but the Rabiot, literally such a bad signing. Has had attitude of Ibra and ability of McTominay. No, thank you. Michelle Leon says, the club's new strategy is to say every player is Eric Ten Hag's choice. Yeah, he wanted him, not us. He wanted to do it. Maxwell Smart says, my window would have been Timber Malacia. I think I've read that one already. Steve, the only way Rabiot is acceptable. I've read that one as well. It's gone in a different order now. Or is it just me?
Maybe we missed some.
Yeah. James, his stats are slower leagues. I've read that one. Rice and Peace says, this transfer window is moving like KG's skincare.
His skincare's pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say his skincare's good. Vader is dead. Says, Rabiot is a baller. Please educate yourselves with a heart. Okay, we shall. And if he arrives, hopefully he will prove that he's a baller. Damien Wilson says, Sir Alex Ferguson had to pick, had top pick of world football. Now it's in the pound store, TK Maxx. We overspend either way, but no longer shopping in designer stores. Missing Haaland was criminal. I guess you mean at the time when Ollie was.
Is there anything wrong with TK Maxx, Flex?
No, there isn't. You can get some good brands in TK Maxx as well. I get quite a few things from there, but I get the gist of what Damien's trying to say.
Yes.
Big up anyone who shops in TK Maxx. Ash says, you don't need to read this, but very disappointed you guys missed a bunch of super chats, including mine. Just trying to engage. All the best. Apologies, Ash. I think we read your first one as well. So at the time, guys, don't worry. Ten Hag is not publicly forceful. Yeah, we've read both of your super chats. So apologies, Ash. We've caught up now, or we're catching up now. Always want you guys to interact. So, but as you can tell, the community is growing so much, and there's a whole bunch of super chats that come in that we really want to get read out. And sometimes it's difficult throughout the show. We always allocate the time after each segment to go through a bunch of super chats and get them out as well. So yeah, apologies we missed your first one, Ash, but I think we're up to date with everything you've sent in, bro. So I appreciate that. Raz says, nah, man, I ain't back in a racist club. Club can pass. Yeah, did he get done for racism?
It was essentially in the Euros last year. They were playing Macedonia, Austria, and I believe he used he was banned for it. Like the
right.
UEFA or whatever did find him guilty for it.
Right.
And if that is the case, it's just another reason, isn't it? Like you go, what are we doing? Like that is, you can't condone that.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't do that. I didn't know that even happened, to be honest. So again, that's another thing. Mark Harris says Eric Ten Hag needs to play the youth or or be sacked by Christmas. Come on, Mark, come on. I don't agree with that personally. James says Arnautovic is an actual racist. The club is done. And Ivan says they're calling Lissandro Hermano Habula, as that it has been a guy. Oh, that's out of order. And Maroon 5 says, or Maroon 5 maybe with an extra O, says, when was the last time we bought a striker for the future and not at 29 to 32 years of age? We need to get strikers who's 20 to 22 years of age and can be the backup this year. Exactly. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, Owen
I got replaced with the match view. The match is more important than me. Tune in.
I'm so happy that happened to you as well. I shouldn't really be, but it's funny.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. Yes. So I think we are up to date with all the super chats, but that one there, what Maroon 5 says there, when is the last time we got someone in the right age profile? When, we keep.
It's always next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always, and that's what concerns me with the midfielders. Like even now they're going, next year, Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice. A lot can happen in a year, clearly.
We ain't getting them.
But you know what I mean? Even if we go to the Champions League, you've got to make a compelling argument to Jude Bellingham when every club in Europe wants him. And when I say every club in Europe wants him. Not just every club in the Premier League, every club in Europe. Real Madrid will go in for him. That's just done immediately.
Yeah, and in the last minute, Fabrizio Romano has here we go and confirmed Benjamin Šeško for the last ever time to RB Leipzig. Benjamin Šeško to RB Leipzig. Here we go and confirmed. Done deal as anticipated on Monday. Now it's also signed between clubs. Šeško will join in 2023. He stays at Salzburg this year. Agreement with Šeško and his agent. Contract until June 2028. Which fits in with what was told at Sky as well. Someone in Sky Sports was saying that to me, that he's definitely going to Leipzig. I'm going to message that person actually and say, tell you what, mate, you need more credit.
By the way, Flex, sorry to interrupt, but we have like nearly 2,700 people watching. We're not even at 500 likes.
Right. Does Josh, I think that he actually, for that, literally nearly 2,700. Does that need like a BR back screen or something like that's like
still leaf?
Actually, okay, maybe not. All right, maybe.
No, that's the last thing we need to do.
No, but it's like, how's that happen though? I feel a bit like, come on, guys, man. Come on.
Because sometimes these things happen. People were so engrossed, there was a lot going on. I got slapped in the face with the match view. That was a thing. Maybe that's what everyone just needed a bit of a wake up call. Look, there's a lot of, I would say negativity, but there's a lot of, sighing at Manchester United at the moment with these signings, with what happened at the weekend. What we can do is band together. It's going to be a long season. We've got to stick together and join us here at United View.
Yeah,
smash a like on the like button.
The likes are flying up now as
it's my rallying cry.
Yeah, 100%. That was good. And Chavez says, and it gives a super chat. Thank you, Chavez, and says, Flex, what's your opinion on Ronaldo's performance against Brighton? We were in dire need of a focal point up front. I thought when he came on, he did okay. We definitely started playing better with Eriksen in midfield and Ronaldo up front. We were more dominant. Me and Owen were talking yesterday at HQ, and Owen was like, but he was more willing that ball to go in than expecting another goal. I
really didn't feel like watching that game where you're like, I tell you what, we're looking dangerous. We're going to score.
No.
And someone did push back. I think it was Cam push back. Said, well, we did make chances. And you go, yeah, we did, I suppose. But towards the end of that game, like last 5 minutes, at no point did I feel like, we're going to equalize here. The pressure. I felt like Brighton were very comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, Ronaldo coming on, I think it's just where you have to almost differentiate. I thought Ronaldo did fine. I thought we looked better just because we had a striker there.
That's what I'm saying.
Irrespective of it was Ronaldo or anyone, I think we'd look better just having a striker on. I don't think he's not match sharp at all.
No.
And we still are yet to know truly how he's going to really fit in the system, not in terms of his role, but how is he going to adapt? Are we going to see with the Ronaldo we saw last season at times in this system? So all of that's still interesting. He's still a bit of an unknown entity, Cristiano Ronaldo, which is wild to say considering his history and his goal scoring record. But do you think he starts against Brentford?
Yeah.
He didn't play yesterday, did he, against Halifax?
Oh, did he not? I thought he did.
No. Simon Stone put it out there, but then he retracted. He said he did not start.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that changes a bit then. I thought if we could get that in the tank, a whole week's worth of training, because then that will be, because it wasn't even 45 minutes he was on for, was it? He came on in about what? When did he come on? About the 60th?
Yeah. I mean, again, I thought he did fine. I thought he
Yeah,
did
yeah,
fine. And again, I think it was clear that he was. People were saying start him. If he'd have started, he'd have lasted 45.
yeah. I think he has to start against Brentford though. We can't play a false nine. We can't play it. We can't. Or I know this is going to be like really frowned upon because no one wants to see it, especially if Ronaldo it can play some part in the game. Or you have to put Rashford up front or something and say
You need
run or
something.
do
Yeah, I
something. You
agree.
need you
I
need
agree.
something, and that's the best of a bad situation. But for
Well,
me,
maybe Martial could be back. Maybe.
yeah, I mean, we haven't heard anything yet of his return to training or seen any pictures of the lads in training or anything like that. Hopefully, I can. But again, he's then a couple of weeks behind again because he'd need to get up to speed, and he probably won't be able to start after being out for a couple of weeks as well.
Well, how long
Um,
has Ronaldo been in training for now? What, 3 weeks? This will be his third week.
yeah, third week. He's played 45 minutes in the preseason friendly.
That's enough for a half, I think. That's enough
Yeah,
for a
and
half.
then he played what, half an hour the other day,
Yeah.
and
It's-
and he's in full training the whole
yeah.
time.
I'd say
You
that's
could at
enough to
least start
start.
him, and then
Yeah.
you might have to come off in the 65th minute or
Yeah.
70th.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
depending on how the game is, because if he's doing all right and he's got it in him, then you can manage it. But I think or you say Sancho, you go on the left, Alanga, you go on the right, um, and then you go with, like you
Yeah.
said, Rashford up front. But we need the midfielders playing where then Ericsson must play in midfield.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
must. He can't play false nine. Like you saw, even though we didn't create mad chances from it, the team just looked way better balanced, obviously, because he's playing his actual position. And Dallo was talking about it after the game, saying when we saw that, when we knew that Ericsson would be and Christian would be in midfield in the second half, we found him a lot and more things started to
They were just
happen.
giving them the ball. They were literally, it
Just
got to
give
a
him the
point in
ball.
like 75th minute onwards where they were like, let's just give Ericsson the ball and he can pick
Yeah.
out a pass.
He plays these
I'm for it.
little. He just passes on the front foot. He's just progressive with his passing. He doesn't care whether it's his left or right foot. He just fizzes it in. Makes a quick decision and plays the first pass quickly. A couple of other times sweeping it out wide, and then we can get a cross in. Like just helps facilitate our play a lot better than Bruno, and obviously a million miles better than Fred or McTominay can do. So for me, to beat Brentford, we have to have Ericsson in midfield. Maybe even bring Donny in if you want, but and put Bruno false nine if you have to. But I just don't want to see a false nine. We need a focal point up front. Smash a like on the video. Let me see if there's any more super chats to get out. Yes, there is. There is two more. Benjamin Sheshko to Leipzig confirmed. Here we go. Says Victor. Yep, we are aware of that. Thanks for letting us know, Victor. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that about 5 minutes ago. So if you're just joining us, that's what's up with that. And Mark Harris says, no good manager leaves subs until the 89th minute. A lot of people are very critical about Ten Hag making subs late. Do we talk Ajax guys? I've seen them talking, and remember when they were talking to us, saying, get used to it. Get used to that. That is a big Ten Hag trait. He makes subs too late. I remember having a conversation with Ajax about this. It wasn't even in a show. It was just, I think, when we was out in Amsterdam and just chilling. He was like, this is what he does. He makes things late.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff they have
Yeah.
said, by the way, and why wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
they were absolutely spot on about some of the things that already you can sort of say will be like eyebrow raisers, i.e., subs will be late. They said he will do press conferences where he'll back players you don't like, and it seems illogical to back them, but he will do it irrespective of it. They are two things that you could say that he's already done. Like they said, the late subs in that game against Brighton, and in some of the press conferences, some of the players that the fans aren't maybe happy with, the Maguires or the Rashfords, or even the Ronaldo situation, right? He's just, I'll always back my players steadfast.
Yeah.
That's what he will do. And
Yeah.
I don't think he could particularly care what the media thinks about him at all.
No.
You can tell when he's doing those press conferences, if anything, he doesn't really want to be there that much.
Yeah. He just
He'd
cares
rather be out
about
on the
working.
training pitch. Yeah.
Yeah, he just cares about working on his team, his players, the individuals, the conversations that he has with the players, etc., etc. That's what he's game for, and he doesn't really check for the media thing. It's just not really him. Let's move on to the last couple. The last one, and it's Bailly to Monaco potentially, really quickly.
Yes. This comes from L'Equipe, obviously French-based outlet, saying AS Monaco are looking to sign Eric Bailly on loan with an option to buy. However, Manchester United want to sell him and have so far refused all loan approaches, including one from AS Roma. So you're looking at Monaco and Roma looking to sign Bailly, possibly on loan with an option to buy in Monaco's case, but United is saying no, we want him to go and we are open to selling him, but it has to be a permanent deal. Do you think Bailly goes this summer flex? The preseason, the solid preseason he had almost feels like a lifetime ago already, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's just not in the plans, is he? He's not. He can stay, but you know, look, we've got Varane and Lindelof just sitting there doing nothing. But he's never going to play. Even more so now, because the quality of defenders gone up actually with who he's behind. Before he was just behind he was just behind Lindelof, really, wasn't he? And Varane a little bit last year, to be fair, but he was injured so much that whoever wasn't injured out of Bailly and Varane would be next in line. But now Martinez has come. He's fallen even further behind. He's never going to get a game because I think Lindelof's going to be next in, or Varane. One of them is going to be next in. And he needs to leave. Yeah. Some people saying, why are we letting him go? He's our best centre back and stuff like that. And I don't buy that. I agree that we shouldn't be loaning him. It's time to call it a day on Eric Bailly. I really like the guy. Really, really like Eric Bailly. And it's a shame. There's been loads of points in his Man United career where he absolutely should have been getting game time. But with this manager who's clearly decided to go in a different way, he's entitled to say, I've got to get out of here. I've got to leave.
And also, if we've learned anything over the last few days, it's that preseason means nothing. So whilst Eric Bailly had a good preseason and a good few games, a lot of those players had good preseasons and good games during that tour. You were there, you saw it in person, but that was not the same. It did not feel like the same group of players we played Brighton.
And you could label that even at Martial as well. We still got to
Exactly.
remember that could break down. I know the injury is unfortunate, but just in general, with relying on him,
yeah,
we've never been able to do that.
Exactly. And Eric Bailly's the same. The fitness record is what it is. The facts are there. He's been at the club for 6 years. He's barely played over 100 games in all comps. I know people will say, well, he was available last year for a lot of the time because he wasn't playing. When he has to play a consecutive run of games, he gets hurt. His style of football leads himself to getting hurt. His style of training leads himself to getting hurt. I think the positive coming out preseason is that maybe we can ask for a bit of a higher fee than we could have previously. So yeah.
Lastly, there's been a few just quick little things on social media from some big outlets. The journalist that I mentioned earlier, Tancredi Palmieri, he says that Manchester United have Savic on their list, but Lazio's demands are 70 million euros, negotiable to 60 million plus add-ons. It's a lot, yes. Is it deserved? Hell yes, he says. Is it better to spend 60 million on a very good player or waste for more time, more than 15 on 4 average players? Your take, United. So he's got some strong words to say here.
Yeah, I just saw.
He's saying a lot of stuff. He's got a lot to say, and I feel like he's going to be a journalist now that because he's linked to Savic and he's got quite a good following. He's just jumped in there now.
It's your moment, mate. You take it.
And then if the transfer goes through, he'll be goated.
Yeah, and Repubblica, which I believe is an Italian-based outlet that got over 3 million followers, are also saying that. And this is what's funny: is Lazio's demands are 70 million euros. Manchester United will submit an offer of 68 million euros. Where'd you go? If you're Lazio, surely you accept that. I mean, it's pedantic 100%. At that point, right?
And he also tweeted 23 minutes ago, which is quite funny. He's mocking us, really. He says, a couple of weeks ago, I was asked on TalkSport and by my employees here at Sport Italia which transfers I was expecting to happen. I replied that as soon as a big English club would fail the first game of the season, we'd see it go into panic on transfers. Manchester United never disappoint, he says. So he said he predicted that someone would basically come in for Savic after losing the first game of the season, and that team was Man United. But I think it's clear to say, whether you believe those rumours or not, it's clear to say the Savic thing is hotting up. The Rabiot thing.
Things are happening.
Things are happening. Things are happening. Something is going to happen in Gerard Romero's style. Tune in later because something will happen. And that's where we're at. That's the state of play. Guys, smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. That
we're
is your
only 50
latest.
Away from 750, by the way.
50 away on our way out. Can you guys get us another 50 likes on the video? That would be very, very good considering how many people we had watching. Should be more really. But if we can get 50 on the way out of the door on the outro, that would be top stuff. And we'll see you guys this evening for full view at 6 p.m. as well. We are out of here, guys. Peace.